The movie begins in a hospital where doctors are trying to revive a premature baby. Meanwhile, the baby's mother, Diane Sherman, anxiously prays for her daughter Chloe. Later, the doctors bring her to the baby, and she finds the baby is in stable condition. She asks the doctors if she will be okay, but the doctors remain silent. The scene shifts to Chloe in the present day. She suffers from hemochromatosis, asthma, arrhythmia, diabetes, and paralysis, resulting in using a wheelchair to move around. She had to take a lot of medications and regularly check her sugar levels. Diane joins a support group session for women whose children are going away to college. When Diane was asked about Chloe, she responded that she had nothing to worry about. Chloe is an intelligent girl who wants to study at the best universities and applies to many colleges. When the mailman arrives, she gets excited, hoping for the arrival of her university's acceptance letter. However, Diane always reaches before her, and to her disappointment, there is no letter from the universities. Chloe has a great interest in technology, and she often fixes some home appliances. The following day, when Chloe is studying, she hears a vehicle approaching. She thinks it is the mailman and looks out the window to find out her mom has returned home with the groceries. When her mom is away on the phone, she quickly looks into the items before taking a few chocolates from the box. She accidentally notices a bottle of green pills with her mother's name on it. At night, Diane gives her some medicine to take before going to bed, and Chloe is surprised to see the green pill and tells Diane that it's her medicine. She then admits that she took some chocolates and saw the bottle of green pills with her name on it. Diane then scolds her because taking more chocolates is bad for her condition. When Chloe asks why her name is on the prescription, Diane reveals that her name is on the receipt. Chloe is still shocked but ends up taking medicine. The following day, Chloe notices the mail van leaving. She rushes downstairs and opens the door to find Diane, who tells her there is no letter from the university. Chloe discovers that her mom has arrived in a hurry. Chloe gets more curious about the green pills, and uses one of her homemade gadgets to take the bottle from the cabinet. She looks at the name of the medication, Trigoxin, and gets confused when she sees her name wrapped around the bottle. Chloe then peels off the sticker to find Diane's name printed on it. Diane gives her the green pill at night, but this time Chloe doesn't swallow it and takes it back to be examined. After her mother has fallen asleep, Chloe sneaks downstairs to find information about Trigoxin on her computer. Unfortunately, she can't get any details as there is no internet. But Chloe is unaware that her mom is watching her from the kitchen. The following day, Chloe finds her mom arguing with customer service as the internet will be down for some time. When Chloe sees her mom watering the plants outside, so she immediately dials a random person and asks him to search the internet for the Trigoxin. She learns it's a medicine used to treat severe heart conditions. But Chloe is horrified to learn that Trigoxin is a red pill, not green. Chloe realizes her mother is up to something. Chloe gets more curious and asks her mother if they could go to the cinema, thinking it would give her a chance to find information about those pills. In the movie, Chloe informs Diane that she has to use the restroom. Chloe immediately leaves the cinema, and arrives at the nearest pharmacy. She finds a long queue as she tries to get to the counter. Chloe instantly requests that the person in front let her cut the line. She asks the pharmacist about the green medicine her mother gave her. The pharmacist is puzzled when she sees the medicine, because it is not Trigoxin, but lidocaine. The medicine is often administered to dogs. Chloe's world is turned upside down by this discovery, and she asks what would happen if people took that pill. According to the pharmacist, if people take that pill, they will suffer paralysis. Suddenly Diane storms in and finds Chloe, who is having trouble breathing. Diane injects an anesthetic into her leg, making her unconscious. Diane brings Chloe home and locks her inside the room. Diane begins to panic, and looks for neurotoxins on the internet. Chloe wakes up and realizes that her mother locked her in the room. But Chloe turns out to be smart and uses her trick to unlock the door. Unfortunately, her mother had foreseen this and put the broom handle to bar the door. However, Chloe doesn't choose to give up. Instead, she uses her technical and scientific talents, picks a solder blanket, and holds water in her mouth. She climbs out the window onto her house's roof to reach the next room. She breaks the glass in the next room's window with the heat from the solder and the water. She uses the blanket to prevent injury from the broken glass. Chloe suddenly had difficulty breathing, and she didn't carry her inhaler. She crawls back into her room and hurriedly uses her inhaler to control her asthma. Chloe quickly jumps into her wheelchair and attempts to flee from there. But Diane has damaged the elevator that Chloe used to go down the stairs. She then frantically attempts to toss the wheelchair, and crawls down the stairs before she slips and rolls down. She sustains minor injuries, but also discovers now that she can move one of her toes, as she has not taken the green pill for a long time. She grows more suspicious that her mother is a psychopath. Chloe instantly gets into her wheelchair and leaves her house towards the road that used to go to the city. Then, Chloe hears the sound of a car approaching. She hurriedly hides, fearing it is her mother's car, but it turns out to be the postal van. Chloe then rushes out to block the van and nearly gets hit. The mailman gets out of his van and recognizes Chloe, and she says, "Help me." While the mailman is assisting Chloe, Diane comes by and notices the two of them. Diane quickly approaches the mailman and asks about Chloe's whereabouts. Diane wants to take Chloe home, but is stopped by the mailman. He informs Diane that Chloe doesn't want to return home and instead wishes to visit the police station. Diane is adamant about getting her daughter home, and even threatens to report the kidnapping to the authorities. Unfortunately, Diane's attempts are useless because there is no signal. She unwillingly lets the mailman take Chloe away, but on the condition that she comes too. He takes Chloe into his van to take her to the police station, but Diane gives him a sedative causing him to faint. Later, Chloe wakes up in the basement. She notices a dark liquid made by her mother that is most likely a paralyzing drug for her. Chloe cannot flee. Her wheelchair is immobile because her mother chained it to a pole. She then looks for a way to get out of there. But she sees a pile of paper, which turns out to be Chloe's acceptance letter from the university she had previously applied for. Chloe realizes her mother has hidden those letters, and she gets frustrated. The revelations keep coming. Chloe discovered various images of herself when she was healthy. Surprisingly, she finds the death certificate of a baby named Chloe, who died 2 hours after birth, as well as a newspaper featuring news of a baby kidnapped from the same hospital on Chloe's death date. Chloe knows at that point that she is not Diane's biological daughter, but rather the child kidnapped from her original parents. We learn that doctors couldn't rescue Diane's baby. She felt so angry that she kidnapped another baby in the hospital to fill her dead baby. Diane arrives while Chloe is worried and baffled. Chloe informs her that she is not her mother and has been using drugs to keep her sick and immobilized all this time. Diane claims she did it because she loves her. She encourages Chloe to forget everything and go back to the way things were before, tossing away Chloe's pills. Chloe is still terrified and will not listen to her mother's remarks until her patience runs out. Diane then takes the black liquid into a needle to inject it into Chloe. Chloe is getting increasingly frightened. She immediately crawls back toward a cupboard and locks it. She finds poison inside, and drinks it when Diane manages to open the door. Diane cries loudly as she sees her daughter die from the poison, and we realize how much Diane loves Chloe. Chloe is rushed to the hospital for medical treatment. Luckily, the doctors were able to save Chloe. Yet she still has difficulty moving and speaking. Diane is seen gazing at Chloe through the glass. Chloe quickly requests assistance from the nurse in her room by using the help button. Because Chloe can't speak yet, she can only communicate with her eyes. The nurse hands Chloe a note and a pencil to write down. Suddenly there is an emergency alarm while Chloe is writing, and the nurse leaves to check it. Diane activates the emergency alarm to attract the nurse's attention. Diane enters Chloe's room shortly after and promptly rips out all of Chloe's medical equipment and takes her out. When the nurse returns to her room, she is startled by Chloe's disappearance. The nurse then notices Chloe's message, "Mom." The nurse immediately reports this to security in order to find Chloe. Diane takes Chloe away, and she is unable to ask for help. When Diane is nearly out of the hospital and reaches the escalator, she is unable to push Chloe's wheelchair. It turns out, Chloe is using her legs to keep the wheelchair in position. Diane was shocked to witness it, and the security officers found them. Diane pulls out a revolver only to get shot by one of the security officers. She falls down the steps. Chloe is rescued, and Diane is held by officials. The story then shifts 7 years later to a psychiatric institution. Chloe is now an adult and can move her legs, but with difficulty. Chloe is visiting someone who turns out to be Diane Sherman. Chloe says that she enjoys her life with her real family. She has many friends and even graduated from her desired university. Before leaving, Chloe appears to remove something from her mouth, which turns out to be the dog medicine Diane gave her. Chloe then says, "I love you, Mom," now open wide. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this.